Hi. Let's see, I gotta get this set up good for y'all. Gotta get this set up good for y'all. So y'all can see me. Okay. So where do I want to start? Yeah, so guys, look, y'all know that I love outside, and y'all know that, I'm not against being outside. I love it. And it's just that, like, my house is so much more comfortable sometimes. That's it. Like, I'd rather be in my room or something. And people that might find that weird, it's absolutely comfortable to me. But what I wanted to say is, like, since I'm still enjoying my nature time, even though it's freaking cold out here, then I have to be in my car. Like, I walk around, but I have to be in my car. I feel more comfortable doing the videos in my car instead of outside freezing. And you guys understand. So, I'm gonna tell you. Wow. It's just been a lot going on for me. A lot. And isn't it's funny how, like, when you're trying to get things worked out and you are really trying, and it's like things that keep coming in your way, obstacles that keep coming in your way, like, a lot of times people like to refer to that as the quote unquote devil, but really a lot of times it's our own self, it's our own team testing us. I realize that just like very recently, testing us to see if we're making it past certain things. And if you don't, you just don't. You know what I'm saying? But it's for our own greatest good. It's for our soul's journey, our soul's mission, not really the physical mission. But I tell you, as hard as it is sometimes, it's like you seem more at peace when you evolve spiritually, like, or soulfully, versus like physically. Like, I like it because I can go in and out of both worlds. Like, I'm able to now check myself and realize, like, okay, I don't have to fall for this. I don't have to fall for these things that's getting in my way. I don't. That's just how you truly live, and wow, it's great. But that brings me to, like, the subject God consciousness. I feel like, because this is everything that I wanted to explain and describe, but I didn't really know what to call it, and I think that I just channeled it. Not that it hasn't been channeled before, but I'm saying, and right now, in this here and now with my being, I channeled it. God consciousness. I'm gonna tell you why. I don't really like, okay, let me try to explain something and maybe you guys can relate. So I went from a range of things. I told a little story about myself growing up, but so, in one of my videos already, but just to touch on that again, as a child, like, when I go back and I look at myself as a child and I think about my childhood, and I'm sorry guys, like, if I look out like that, it's just, that's how I do. I'm just, it's better for me to talk this way. Like, if I'm looking out, then to just keep talking at the camera the whole time. I just get in my zone, and it's a lot of stuff to look at out there. So, but I'm a Sagittarius rising. We look far. We don't really like looking, like, close up like that a lot of times. But yeah, so listen to this. As a child, right, I realized, like, most of my childhood I was alone. Even when other people were there, I was alone. But not because I felt lonely necessarily when I look back on it, you know what I'm saying? But because that was comfortable for me, and, like, I felt like other people thought it was weird, and I felt like that made me want to search for something anyways, you know what I'm saying, like, outside of myself. anyways, and like people, and for them to like me, and for them to accept me, and for me to be doing things for them constantly and making them feel okay, even when it went against my own feelings, when I didn't really want to do some things, you know. I felt like I started pursuing a lot of things because I wanted to be quote unquote normal. Like, why can't I just be normal? Like, why can't people just get me? Is what I couldn't figure out. But then at the same time, the flip side of it, I didn't really want to be around a lot of different people. You know, I didn't want that. You know, I really didn't understand that. You know, in my subconscious, I was manifesting, you know, what I really wanted, but didn't understand that. Because see, why I did not understand that is because I just didn't, you know, I was a kid. But I was already set up. Like, look at your life now. And for a lot of you guys that have evolved, I found like a lot of people that have evolved or is waking up, they're the ones that look at my channel the most, you know. If you take yourself now, look at yourself now, and look back at your life, and don't you realize that a lot of stuff that you were set up with as a kid is a part of who you are now? You know, even though even if people came along and tried to tell you that it wasn't right, it was a part of you, or like you were weird or you were different, or you know, they just went against a lot of things that instead of helping guide the capabilities that you may have had inside of you as a child, they tried to stifle it, or they tried to tell you why it was wrong, you know. And I think that's something that we're all guilty of, that when we have children, we're guilty of it, but it's just about realizing and changing things, you know. Like, yeah, you realize like all along you had this way of being, or this yourself inside of you all along, like your soul's mission, your soul's understanding inside of you all along. You had it, you know. But after being programmed and reprogrammed again and reprogrammed again, some kind of way, we're made to feel like it's not enough. Like, we have to be better. And it's all becoming better. Have y'all noticed this? It's all to become better, to prove something to other people. Because your parents want to be, yeah, your parents always want to be proud of you, and they want you to make something of yourself. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, why? What is making something of yourself? Like, we all have that struggle, and if we don't have that struggle financially, we have the struggle in other ways. So we all have the struggle, you know, at some point in our life. So what am I saying? Like, why did I even bring that up? Because like, I knew that I had this life that was set up, this path that I was equipped with as a child to begin working with, to be able to stand on my own. And when I say stand on my own, I'm not talking about materially necessarily. I'm talking about like identity wise. Okay. And that's what God equipped me with. But I as I grew up, I thought something was wrong with me. And like, I feel like I faced what was rejection, but it wasn't rejection. It was just, I feel like the universe's way of getting me to wake up and be like, look, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get you to realize these things, and you're going to realize it through pain. You're going to realize it through hardships, because the more you try to fight against it, the more the same stuff hits you in the face. And what do I want? Why am I saying this? I want to say this because on my journey, like, as I grew up, you know what I'm saying, in ways I try to fight certain ways about myself. Because if you think you're fighting with other people, but you're really fighting with yourself, you know, I just want to keep that in mind, you know, keep that in mind. But yeah, these ways, you know, about myself, I tried to stifle or whatever, you know, and I found myself going through all different phases. You know, I never doubted a higher power or anything, but I feel like I started leaning to more is the line more along the lines of like I can do everything myself, and I don't necessarily, with my understanding of not following in religion, I think that I slipped away from, I think I could have kind of, not really, because I never identified myself with being an atheist, but I think I could have kind of slipped into the atheist zone for a second, not long, you know what I'm saying, because it didn't, the way it panned out, ooh, that didn't work. So what I'm trying to say is that it's not about atheism or whatever. It's not about saying that there is not a God. I think that the universe the whole time is trying to get us to awaken to the fact that there is a higher power and a higher source, but that does have the control, but it's not really to control us necessarily. It's to get us to open up to our own divine soul being, and for us to understand our God consciousness. Well, what does that mean? Well, if you understand like that term that I used, and for what it is, it's basically saying that no, you don't necessarily need other people or other situations or things outside yourself to heal yourself, to steer you in the right direction, to manifest things for yourself. No, you don't. But there's a difference from knowing this and acting. First of all, there's a difference between not knowing this at all and just blindly living, you know, because that's the step that a lot of us are on or have been on. And then, okay, there's a difference between that, and then there's a difference between doing that and knowing but still not being aware, like really consciously aware enough to be really in control. Like you slip back and forth from blindly to consciously acting in your divine God consciousness. And then there's that's those two scenarios or whatever, or examples, is different from consciously being present and aligning yourself in your God consciousness. Now, what is consciously doing it? It's consciously doing it is when you are aware of your intentions, because remember, karma follows, okay? And a lot of us, we're so endowed in karma due to the fact that we just didn't know, you know what I'm saying? And karma is not good or bad. Karma is just what a debt we occur, you know what I'm saying? As above, so below. You wonder where we get a system of debt on our world. Our universe runs off of it, you know. But being consciously aware, then we then become aware of our intent, we become aware of our behavior, and we become aware of like the behavior around us, and we are consciously living in the here and the now with understanding of the past and foresight of the future, and we're able to incorporate that all in one. But don't let that shake us or knock us off of our balance, our mayat, and we are able to consciously live and manifest in our being and without doubt of what we're manifesting. Now, remember when I said about intentions, because see, through universal law, you know what I'm saying, I feel like it's not good to manifest against others or from an outside place, like saying I want to manifest this one particular exact person. I think that backfires. Or like, I want to manifest disruption or disturbance in someone else's life. No, like, it's best to consciously manifest it. I don't think it only really works to your advantage when you manifest from within, you know, from your place of being. Like, an example, I consciously manifest me reaching my my exercise goal or whatever, or me reaching, I'm not even gonna say exercise, me reaching this weight or this particular size. When you do that, what you're not kind of saying, what you're saying is that you know that you can make this happen, right? And you don't worry about how to make that happen. So you're not stressing over routines, exercises, or diets, but you are consciously acting in the direction that lays out before you, because you trust that that's the direction that you laid out in front of you that's leading you to that manifestation goal, that weight loss goal or whatever is going to happen. Now, when you get really good, I think that as we get really good, we'll be able to manifest this without even acting anything out, you know. Yeah, that's another topic that's for later. But these are just like my own little personal diaries or diary vlogs or whatever. But yeah. So why am I saying this? Because see, before you get to that point, before we get to these different points and levels in our lives, you know, a lot takes place to get our attention. You know what I'm saying? And like, you'll see that it's something that you have been given the keys to all along, but you just we just hold ourselves back from that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let yourself die, and you have to be willing to sacrifice. Now, like I said, when you hear about like the dark, I don't want to say dark because I don't necessarily think the dark is evil per se, you know, necessarily, but I'm saying like you'll find that people that that do sacrifices, when they sacrifice humans and different things or whatever the case may be, they're striving for the ultimate power, you know what I'm saying? And they don't understand that comes within themselves, and they can get that, you know, they can get that, but that's the level that they're willing to go on. See, me, I don't want to become filthy rich if that's not my will, you know what I'm saying? I do want to live comfortable. I do want to be able to provide for my family for generations to come, but I'm not willing to sell my soul for that. You see what I'm saying? If it's provided to me, then I feel like I'll get it in due time. But I'm saying that when it comes to sacrificing, that's why a lot of them do. They you see, like a lot of people that we refer to as the elite, they're not the elite. They just are enlightened in ways that a lot of us are not. And the thing about it is, yeah, those were their intentions, their doings, whatever, however they decide to sacrifice, because see, that's about selfishness. They want to sacrifice on the dime of someone else, but they don't want to sacrifice from themselves, because selfishness, they don't want to give up their things of their possession of their life. You get what I'm saying? But they still want to be in the sacrificing game, because they understand that with sacrifice comes a lot of pain a lot of times, because you got to be willing to be like, okay, I'm willing to let go of this and that, no matter what it looks like, in order to have this and that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like an advancement in some sort. If that makes any sense. But I want you guys to be completely 100 about this. If you're eating any type of meat or anything, any type of plant, it doesn't matter. You sacrifice something, because that living organism had to be put to rest for your particular need. Just be aware of that. But yeah, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and close this out, because like I said, you know, when I'm doing my videos, I'm aware of like how I'm speaking. Really, I'm just getting messages out. Like other people, you can do what you want with the messages, you know what I'm saying? These are just messages that I channeled, and that comes from my direct experience, that I have open knowledge to, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not the only person. There's thousands of others too, you know. But I think that the more we get the word out, the more people will, as they wake up, they'll start to understand. But yeah, the God consciousness is basically not necessarily when people say you become God or whatever. It's just saying that you are fully aware and realization, and you got to the point of where you set yourself free, okay, and you strive to do that, and you don't let anything of the world, like, you know, the scripture, I'm in this world but not of the world. You don't let, the moment you become of the world, these things control you. I promise you that you become a slave to these things. And you could say, because people could say all day long, yeah, but yeah, that's pipe dreaming. Because if we all decided to do what we wanted, then how would we be able to live? Because we would be able to, but because the collective of people don't understand that people like me are able to be who we are, and the universe allows it to happen because, see, we understand. I can't explain it. I cannot explain it right now, but it's, trust me, that's what it is. But you gotta fall, a lot of times you gotta fall flat on your face first before you realize this. And you get screwed up, scratched up, bruised up, but at some point in time you get the point, you get it, and you're like, oh, okay. And then you can start to rebuild yourself back up. You gotta lose your mind. And I think Rumi said this, you gotta lose your mind in order to really gain your life. Until next time, yeah, you're looking at me, and it's butterfly2light11@gmail.com. Butterfly, the number 2, light, the number 11 at gmail.com.